Hi there, it's me, Mark Orlando, again, with an update on our scholarly project of researching the Disney organization, primarily its entertainment division, its cruise lines, and its resorts business. I hope all is going well for you. I just wanted to update you. We are in a finance class right now, and it's finance for non-finance managers, so it's good for customer services managers and like me, who has his eye on organizational behavior management. I wanted to read you a report that I made for one of our assignments. We had to look into the Wall Street Journal and come up with an article for our model business and relate it to our textbook chapters we were going over. This article has to do with Disney Pixar's new summer hit Brave and how Princess Merida, the beautiful redhead fiery princess, and her effect on retail sales of her success as a Disney movie star. In line of Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Ariel, Giselle, and Princess Snow White as well. For 50 years they've been able to market them being Disney princesses after the make of their famous animated movies. So here we go. Let me just read this to you. Disney Pixar's new summer hit movie Brave topped $75,272,765 in its first weekend. This success opens up numerous retail opportunities for the Disney organization. For example, Disney Brave star is Princess Merida, the newest in a long line of princesses, including Snow White, Ariel, Cinderella, Giselle, and Sleeping Beauty, that have become a trademark and a brand of Disney. So they are actually marketed as a brand, not simply just as a star or a character. They actually have like clotheslines and toys that they make out of them. Not simply their Disney movies is where their royalties come from. The Disney Princesses brand and line offers an assortment of items from books, videos, and apps to dolls, toys, games, clothes, and more. Princess Merida appears throughout the movie in a trademark dress of a Disney princess, a long flowing gown. Actually, there are 3 different gowns in the princess is seen in, and all 3 will soon be available to princess dreamers everywhere through the Disney retail stores. Costumes, as well as already successful books and online games about Brave, are expected to follow in the long line of the popular Disney Princess brand. Did you know that Disney Princess is a brand, just like Pixar, just like Disney Animation? It is a separate brand. It has its own label and its own marketing division and its own financing. The marketability as well as the financial achievement of the movie's popularity and success are expected to increase the overall success of Disney. Tia Cotter, a Pixar shading art designer who designed the period tartans, dresses, and textures in the film, which takes place in 17th century Scotland. Mrs. Cotter is also Crater is also involved with Disney merchandising and said the goal is to remain true to Merida but have something she could sell. So the Disney costume designers were even involved in this, creating costumes that they envisioned people would buy, styles, looks, sort of a fashion. Princess Merida gowns may not have their glitter of other princesses, but they have plenty of traditional color and embellishment to make them successful elements of Disney clothes for children and adults. Consumers are already thinking about doing the Princess Merida concept, as evidenced by Disney lovers everywhere and imitators at the opening of the movie. The ability of Disney to create above and beyond the delight of the movie for their customers and audience is remarkable. Here again, we look at the idea of delight. just delighted to see the movie on screen, or delighted to have that idea, that feeling become an everyday part of you and your family's life through toys, clothes, video games. Disney is always looking to this, and they're doing a remarkable job with this new movie, Brave. Princesses like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella are still selling their Disney movies and retail items a full 50 years after the release of their animated classics. They're also a central part for Disney resorts, theme parks, and cruise lines. We always see the Disney princesses. We use them quite a bit. When you go to a Disney resort, you can go to Cinderella Castle at the Cinderella table, and the princesses come around and visit you. I believe it's at breakfast. They raffle off every day, I believe, a stay in the Cinderella suite for one of the lucky guests at Orlando, Florida, and the Cinderella Castle there. Sleeping Beauty at the Cinderella Castle in California is often seen greeting the guest and meeting the children and answering questions and just increasing the delight and the memorable experience. Brave and the Beautiful Princess Merida will soon be a familiar face to Disney fans in stores, on TV, and in their Disney vacations. I don't know if you've already seen it. I saw it on, I believe it was on. I was just surfing through the net and I saw that Princess Merida was already out before the opening, greeting guests at both Disney castles. That's fantastic. We as customers like doing that. We like seeing them. It's always fun to see Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and the princesses. Disney princesses are a favorite of Disney investors as well. They are a symbol of financial success and secure investments that will increase dividends and retain earnings. A full 50 years after, and you're still selling T-shirts to children who just love, the images of the princesses. That's a pretty stable investment for a business. A pretty, stable investment to reinvest your retained earnings and product line to put faith in. They're seen as an embellishment to the ideas of family, fairy tales, and living happily ever after. Sleeping Beauty also has a bond that was issued in Disney in 1991 and 1993 by the Walt Disney Company. This is one of my favorite bonds. I usually invest small. I'm a personal investor in bonds, U.S. savings bonds or treasury bonds. I usually hold on to those for 3 months to a year. I don't have anything in the lines of institutional investing, but I love studying them. And this is my favorite institutional bond of all time. What I love about it is the term that it had. It was issued in 1993 by the Walt Disney Company, and it is actually called the Sleeping Beauty Bond. It was issued at $300 million and carries an interest rate of 7.55% semi-annually. So that's twice a year. They get a 7.55% interest rate on that. So, if say, just to give you a brief, small example of how much money you accumulate, I believe if you have, say, $10 and it's at 7.55%, then, or say $100, I believe you get $7 on every $100. I think that sounds better, every half year. But this is talking 300 million, so that's quite a bit more than 100. They are due to be paid on July 15th, 2093, a full 100 years after their issue. I love savings bonds rather than, the stock market where you can where you look at the gains every day on the stock market and it goes down. I love just the idea of the bond sitting there for 3 months a year, and this one just sits there for 100 years. That's what I really like about it. The Disney annual report for 2011 states that operating results for the licensing and retail businesses are influenced by seasonal consumer purchasing behavior, by the timing and performance of animated theatrical releases and cable programming broadcast. So So the retail is directly influenced by the success of these movies. Again, it's a holistic organization where the entertainment business always considers the retail business considers the animated business, the stage shows are involved in both. They always look to create synergy, which is a positive energy, by all parts being more important than just the one part. Movies such as Cars, Tangled, and Toy Story reflected as much as a 6 to 8% increase in revenues from consumer products related to hit movies like Brave and Their Princesses. Brave and Their Princesses look as if they will even top this by their early performance. So as much as 6 to 8 increase in overall revenues. If you know anything about accounting, revenue is the top dog. It's on the income sheet, and you base everything on the amount of sales and revenue you have coming in. So that increases that revenue when they get a hit movie by as much as 6 to 8%. And when you're dealing in, say, more than $1 billion, that's quite a big increase. Like I said, you get $6 on every $100, every $100,000. You're talking about $6,000, and you get into $1,600,000. I don't have my calculator on me. $600,000. It's quite an increase. Here's a composite of Disney retail segment. Notice the steady increases in publishing and retail, reflective of the success of their entertainment segment. Disney movies and princesses will always be a driver of retail success at Disney. They're a mainstay. They're stars. A lot of people come to see Disney movies to relate to the Disney princesses. Cinderella story, it's a big hit even in real life stage shows and movies. People branch off of it. I know there's a couple of really good teen movies out about Cinderella stories. Current movie stars. Might get into talking about them and their effect on it later. So let me just read you some. Licensing and publishing in 2010 was, this is in millions, 1,725,000, and that increased to 1,993,000 in 2011. That's a direct result. And retail, 953 million up to 1,116,000. That's quite an increase. Total revenues, as far as relation to the Disney movies, increased from 2010 2,678,000 to 3,049,000. So as you can see, these movies have the potential, and these princesses in their relation to selling the retail products and the overall business of Disney can jump it up by millions, which is really fascinating. I love Disney and its emphasis on creating this financial success by diversifying their business and using their whole product lines, from the cruise lines to the retail stores to the movies, not just simply movies and movie stars. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and may all your Disney dreams come true. We'll see you next time.